Hi, this is Ryan with Douglas ESD. This is another teaching tidbit, and today's topic is Nearpod. Nearpod.com. It's a website, an online platform that allows you to make your presentations or slideshows or PowerPoints. It allows you to take those and make them interactive. So you can put in polls for your students, you can put in drawing questions, some neat stuff like that, and look at some and give instant feedback and do all kinds of neat things with it. It's very, very similar to Pear Deck. So if you already use Pear Deck, then you probably don't even want to watch this video. There's no reason to use both. But I want to show you Nearpod today, so I'm going to just do a Google search for Nearpod. And go to nearpod.com. And then I'm going to go to login here at the top. Now you see from here, this is very similar to Kahoot, where students just enter a join code in order to get into your lesson. So if you're a teacher, you're going to log in with your account over here after you've created one. Students can log in from here, or they can log in from this main page that I was just at back here. There's a join enter code right there. So all you have to do is get your students there to that login page, and then when you launch your lesson, just like in Kahoot, you'll give them a code to put in so everyone is connected to your lesson. So they do have an example one. It says right here, if you don't have a code, you can try it out using the code magic. So I think I'll just kind of show that. It does a pretty good job of showing off some of the features in Nearpod. So here we go. This is like the student perspective. If I was a student taking your Nearpod as a teacher and you had given me the code, this is what it would look like for me, except I would not be able to switch slides on my own. If you were doing this live with your class, say over through Zoom or something like that, then when I click next as a teacher, it shifts the whole class screen at the same time. So I know exactly what screen all my students are on, and they're all interacting with the slide that I want them to be on. That's the live version. There is also a student-paced version where students go through at their own pace, and that's what this is right here. So I'm going to click through to the next slide. This tells you what Nearpod allows you to do, which I kind of already talked about. So we'll get an example here in a minute, and how does it allow you to do those things. These are the different options that it has. You can have regular slides. You can input videos or web pages, Twitter streams. You can go on virtual reality field trips. And then some of the stuff that I mentioned, you can throw in quizzes to your presentations, polls, draw questions, those types of things. So it says the next slide is a draw it activity, but here's some examples already of different ways you can use draw it screens. Circle the proteins that you consume most often. So you can see you have, you can be using this with littles to circle things in pictures. Here's one where they had a graph paper already, and you had students draw on it for math. Here's an ELA example over here. It says highlight the most important ideas. So everyone has the same piece of reading in front of them, but they have little highlighter tools on the screen. So here's an example. It says draw a yellow arrow that points to Mars. Here's my tools down here. I got highlighters, I got a pen, text box. I can input images and I can erase. So let's see if I picked the fourth planet from the sun. Oh, but I'm not in yellow, so I would maybe not be getting that one right. But and then I'd hit submit. And how did you do? Oh, that was totally wrong. I picked the moon. Mars was way up. Oh yeah, of course. Mars isn't that size. That's funny. My favorite part of Nearpod is that once all of the students have submitted their drawings, then I can pick individual students and I can share that right back out to the class. So that's really cool for like math or something. And students love to see their work shared back out to the class. So specifically for something like math, you know, if you get a student that almost got it correct but maybe missed one thing, or you want to get into those student talk, math talks and stuff, then you can share answers back out to the class, and it's anonymous, so nobody knows whose answer it is. And you can kind of dissect those as a class and say, what do you see in this example, how does yours compare to this? What do you think they got right? Where did they get stuck? Those types of things. And you can share multiple examples from students extremely easily. So I love the drawing slides. And it says the next slide is a Nearpod VR experience. So you can imagine this is built into your slideshow, and you have all your students, assuming that the technology works, right? They get dropped into this 360-degree view of, I think it's the rover, on Mars, and can explore around that way. And then it gives an example of a quiz, and so I'm not really going to go through that, but this is so neat because it's instant feedback. As soon as your students take the quiz, you can share the results right back to them. As a class, you can do it with polls. If you do a class poll, then you can share the results of that poll instantly right back, and you can have the graph right in front of you and see how everyone voted. Or if it's a quiz, you can see, exactly how many got which question correct and incorrect, and share in student answers back to the class. So I'm going to exit this sample Nearpod lesson, and I'm going to just take one more minute here to log into my account and just show the library and some of the lessons that are pre-created on here already. So I'm going to log in. Now this is one of those tools that it's called freemium. So it gives you a bunch of free options that you can use without paying anything. And then that kind of hooks you in, and gets you excited. And then they give you the really good options if you pay for an account. So you have that choice of always using the free one, or upgrading to a paid account, or they even offer district plans where you can unlock all of the curriculum that they have and share it amongst your district. So they have, if I go to the Nearpod library here, I just want to really quick show how many lessons they already have created in here and some of the stuff they have. So that one that just popped up, that's new. I haven't seen that before. Guided meditations for K-12. They always are doing social emotional learning and digital citizenship and stuff like that, along with content. Perspective analysis, look how cool some of this stuff is. ELA and math skill practice, so if you just want to go into specific skill practice. There was from the election 2020 and current events. These are just their promoted ones that are scrolling by here at the top. Distance learning picks. So that's only their featured ones. But look along here on the side, I can search by standard if I want to. I can search by, let's say I want a math lesson for grade 6. And it just gives me like, I'd probably want to get more specific into standards and everything, but because look at all these that it's going to give me: area, ratios, data and graphs. And all of these look like they're made by the Nearpod team. So I'm not sure if those cost money or not. I have a subscribed account, so some of the lessons cost money on their own. Some are free. And then if you want to create your own, just go up here and create. Create lesson, and then you just start dropping some of those slides in to make stuff. So it's a really easy way to make your first one if you want to. Look, I could just add one slide that says I want to do an activity and I want to do a drawing activity. That's all I want. One drawing activity. I can put in a background image if I want, or media instructions or anything, or I can just leave it blank and give the instructions to my students live. Even if I just use it for that, I'm still giving them a code where they can all go and they can draw their answers to whatever question I give them, and then we can give that instant feedback and share it back as a class. So that's a good way to start out with this. Very simple, one slide. They get used to putting the code in, all those types of things, and then you can get into more of some of the in-depth lessons. I think that's the last thing I wanted to show. Maybe let me hit save and exit. I'll show you how to get a code for these. Save and exit. Oh, it's going to make me Untitled lesson. Title it a unique name. Go. Okay, so there's the one that I just created right there. And then, like I said, here's the two different options: live participation and student paced. Go to that. It's going to give me that code to give to my students. It's the first thing it's going to give me right there. So any students that enter that code are going to go to my drawing activity. These are short, so that's all I'm going to share on this. But if you want to connect and go deeper into this, or you want to see it modeled in your classroom or something like that for the first time, then let me know and we can work together on that. But that's it for now. Adios.